Alright, we got your final comic of the night, everybody. You get one more delightful, hilarious comedian who got started right here at the great University of Notre Dame before moving on to Chicago. So, you could all give it to
Thank you.
Come out of this wall and... Ready?
Nice out there. How are you doing? You can make some noise. You can make some noise. I was told before coming up here to break a leg. You know, the term originates from when people used to do well on stage. Audience members would smash the chairs on the ground. It's about a chair leg. You know, that's fascinating, right? You guys know where the term beating around the bush comes from? I don't, actually, but I feel like it would hurt. Ouch. Are we fans? Are we Irish fans in this room? Okay. And you guys are just from South Bend, so you don't like Notre Dame, right? Alright, now I know how we're feeling. Okay. I am Irish by heritage, you know? So I didn't have a bat mitzvah or quinceañera or anything like that. I had my first keg stand. That was my coming of age, so that was pretty fun. Are we drinking tonight? Having some beverages? Right? Sir, are you Irish?
I'm not Irish.
You're not Irish. Well, just take it easy, because my culture is not your costume, okay? That was one of my professors. We're gonna come back to that. We'll come right back to that. Guys, I don't know if marriage is in the cards for me, you know? I mean, it could be far off anyways. It's not like, it's not that I don't picture myself with a partner, it's just wedding traditions are a little wonky. Like, the bride has a first dance with your father, right? That's like a thing that people do. I don't think I've ever hugged my dad, you know? And now we're supposed to go to first base. And then there's the wedding tradition where the groom just goes down on you in front of your entire family? What? No, thank you! We got married couples in the crowd? You guys, no, not married. Yes, married? Did you do the garter? No, right? It would make me so uncomfortable. And when I get uncomfortable, I pee. There's that. I think I'd be a bad mom. I think I'd be a bad mom because boobs are supposed to fill up with milk. And, you know, I think my kids are going to be freaking hungry. My kids are going to be starving. They get 2 shot glasses every month. Is what I can provide for my family. I get a boob job, but I don't want to give them macroplastics. So it's complicated. It's complicated. If I did have, I did hold a baby, you know, recently. I think it was like the first baby that I've ever held, you know, pretty fun. They're squishy. It was really fun. I started tickling him, because I could, you know, and then he started crying. Yeah, all men are the same. If I did have a kid, though, I don't want them to be like an iPad kid, you know? I don't want them to be too technologically dependent, right? If I'm having a kid, I'm having a Chinese finger trap kid. Y'all know you're familiar with the contraptions? You know, like the cardboard things? I have a Chinese friend, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, what's the deal with Chinese finger traps? You know? And she's like, what? I'm like, Chinese finger traps, you know, those like cardboard things that practice patience, you know? And she's like, you mean finger traps? That's right. Everything's Chinese to her, you know? Got me thinking about like the distinct, like when it does need to be distinguished, like when do you need the label? And it's like, I don't know, I would never want to be stuck in a fire with her, you know? Because there's like the Chinese fire drill where you're driving a car. This is what the term means if you're not familiar. The Chinese fire drill, you're driving a car and you switch places with the driver at a stoplight or whatever, right? But if we're stuck in a fire, it's like fire drill, and she's just gonna jump out of the fire and fucking go right back in. So I don't trust her. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'll have married or kids, you know, but I might adopt a highway. Been thinking about it. Who's adopting highways? Come on, man, let's be real. Couple struggles with infertility. Adopt a highway. Those poor orphans. Can you imagine a couple driving to the orphanage on a highway, and then they get to the orphanage and they see all these kids lined up, ready to like go to their forever home, and they're like, I don't think any of you can hold a semi. And then they go adopt the fucking highway, because that's what meets their needs. And then it's kind of like, I guess in an orphanage you kind of pick and choose the kid based on certain qualities, right? Doing that with highways? Maybe. I think I'd be a little picky. I'm not gonna have a one-way. Fucking boring. How boring? But if we had like a roundabout, at least you're gonna have a lot of grandkids. Yeah, that's a horror. That's a horror? Okay, you guys don't want to adopt highways, that's fine. Just leave them all in a house. It's cool. I was driving on a highway recently. Ouch, sorry about that. Oh, also, you know what a birth one? Those things are fucking huge. I was driving on the highway, I was passed by this moving company called Two Men and a Truck. You guys familiar maybe with this? Two Men and a Truck. Their logo is two stick figures with their hands up like this. I'm not giving these guys my business. Who's driving the truck? And then they're gonna move a couch with those noodle arms? No. As if I do. Sam was asking about listening to radio, and I was the only one that made any noise. I do listen to the radio a lot. I did student radio at Notre Dame, WSND 88.9 FM, baby. It's classical music during the day, so whatever. But I do radio in Chicago now as well. There are 7 bad words that you cannot say according to FCC guidelines on television or radio. You know, and 2 of those words are fuck and motherfucker. So every morning I start my broadcast off with, "What's up, daddy fuckers?" And then some old man always calls in. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Oh gosh, I was listening to the radio recently with my friend in the car, and she turned it down to call her boyfriend on the phone. And I'm like, what the heck? I thought we were going to have a good old goofy time, you know? And she talked with her boyfriend, and she gets a little quiet. And I'm like, you guys are going to have phone sex. Can you at least put it on speaker? Some of us are lonely. She didn't hear me though, so I just plugged it in the aux. Then we can all have a good time, you know? I am single. I'm so single, I only have like steamy dreams about myself. Yeah, I went to bed last night fully clothed, and I woke up with my shirt off. I don't know what happened, okay? And it kind of pissed me off. It kind of pissed me off because last night I was like, Natalie, I'm not in the mood. Anybody else a pervert? Unrelated to my relationship status, I am missing my front tooth. It comes out. Yeah, I'm a real catch. Real catch right here. But I do put it in when I'm trying to be fancy, you know, when I'm trying to spit game. So I don't spit in their face. Unless they ask me to. I had Hinge for one day. That's as long as I lasted. And I put one of my prompts as, I want someone to match my freak by sticking their tongue through my tooth gap. Yeah, I couldn't get read through all my matches, you know, and they were all flagged for my safety. Yeah. I'll give you a couple examples. One of them was, let me get all up in that gap pussy. Okay, yeah, you know, points for creativity. Another was, I could fit my PP in there. We went on a date last week. It was going pretty well. You know, he picked me up, he chose the restaurant, but when it came time to pay, he asked the worker if we could split the check. How do we feel about splitting the check in this room? And boo, got some boos. Yeah, are you? Did I hear a boo? No, you're married. You get everything shared. But the worker saved me, you know? She was like, no, sir, we can't split the check. This is the drive-thru McDonald's. Chivalry's not dead. My sister has a French man in town. That's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. She's one up at me for sure. But he, he told me just yesterday. He like pulled me aside and he's like, and my sister and I get like mixed up a lot. Like we look very similar, so it's kind of refreshing when someone's like, "Oh, you don't look that similar," especially if they're like good friends, you know. And so he said, "You know Woody?" And I'm like, "Woody?" He's like, "Woody from Toy Story." And he just pointed at me. I'm like, fuck. He had to practice his English. Call me to roast my ass. Okay. Call me Woody from Toy Story. That's nice. Okay, I work in tech. Tech's pretty fun. Anybody else work in tech? Heck yeah. But guys only want me for my brains. You know? It's getting frustrating. I'm tired of dating zombies. They only want one thing, you know? I messaged my boss a video of me doing stand-up because he asked for it. And the next day he responded, "You're so confident." That's all I said. Yeah, and then he took credit for my work in a meeting the next day. I lied, I don't work in tech. I got laid off. Hey, full-time comedian, baby. But as related to tech, I did mention that two of my professors are here. It's pretty fun. Hi. Yeah. What's the worst joke I could say? No, it's fun. Ramsey's here. I sat front row in his class and then just fell asleep every class. Not, you know, it's a me problem, okay? It's my fault. I did get laid off personally. I did get laid off, and it was the day after I turned 25. You know, and I'm like, I was wondering why they didn't say happy birthday in the Slack message. Big surprise for me. They waited it was on a Friday that it all went down. They waited until 1:30 p.m. And I'm like, dang, well, at least I got my 3-hour nap in beforehand. That's a joke about me not deserving the job in the first place. Gosh, and then right after the meeting, they just shut my email down immediately, cut off. And I'm like, kind of harsh, but honestly, with my track record with exes, I would have asked for closure 2 months later, so it's probably good. Probably a good thing. I got laid off and then I kind of just ran away to the woods, as you do. Went on a little solo camping trip. It was pretty fun. Up in northern Wisconsin. We like camping? Camping crowd? Alright. Some hoots and hollers. Where was the woo? You? I know you say things and then you hide. So, okay. Campers? Where do you like to go camping?
I'm going to Turkey Run.
Turkey Run. Is that near here or Michigan? Or?
Like Lafayette.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, what are you most excited about?
Camping part, I guess.
Hell yeah, sister! The camping part. Me too. I was waiting for someone to say that. You get me. Girl, you get me. My favorite part was picking up a frog on one of the the trails. You see a frog, you gotta pick it up, right? I picked up the frog and it peed on me. So I put the frog down, that was our relationship, right? I text everyone I know. I'm like, yo, picked up a frog and it peed on me, best day ever! Pretty fun. And I got some responses back. You know, one of my friends said that it's a sign of good luck when a frog pees on you. I'm like, I could use some of that. I'll take it. A guy that I'm seeing, guys don't make a big deal about it. Don't make a big deal about it. He said that it's a sign of affection when a frog pees on you. I don't think I'm going to do what he wants me to do next time I see him. And my mom said it boosts fertility. Not what I wanted to hear. I don't want to have frog babies. What the hell? So I peed on the frog. And then it turned into a man. I had to run away because I was alone in the woods. So this is a trail. I was in northern Wisconsin, so it's not really hiking. It's just flat grounds. I guess that's just all Midwest, right? It's cool, we get our steps in. I was on a trail, I saw a lot of benches like paying homage to couples or just generally people who had passed, you know? It was pretty sweet. I sat on most of them, like a little moment of silence. But then I started thinking, are these people choosing to be benches? I feel like you gotta be kind of a pervert to be a bench in your post-out. You know? It's like, yeah, I just want strangers to sit on my face. Okay, did that hit home because we know people with benches? And now you're gonna think about it? I'm just kidding. I do really appreciate when there's like a symbol of somebody that you love, you know? Especially after they pass, so you can be reminded of them constantly or in some special way, right? Do you guys have you guys got any, besides the bench, maybe something like physical or like an animal of past loved ones? Is this a relatable thing? No. Okay. Just me. I'm going to talk about how I relate to what I just said. Okay. My grandma who passed away a couple years ago, I always see her when I encounter blue dragonflies. Right? When I see a blue dragonfly, I'm like, oh, that's Gaga, so sweet. But when I see a blue dragonfly out in the wild, I usually see it attached to another blue dragonfly. She's got game, what can I tell her? What can I say, you know? God, she was always kind of a player. And she's still getting dick down in heaven, I love it. She had way more blue dragonfly dick than I ever got. Because I haven't gotten any, okay? And I'm actually pretty cool with that. Pretty fine. Anne Frank. Maybe you don't know her. Anne Frank lived during the German occupation of the Netherlands with her Jewish family in an annex. I live in a studio apartment that says storage room on the door. So I feel like me and Anne Frank got a lot in common. We got a lot in common. Okay, we both had journals at the age of 13 for one. So we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you a quote, and I would like you to guess who the author is. Okay? You guys down for that? You guys down for that game? Okay. Alright, the first quote is, look at how a single candle can both defy and define the darkness.
Anne Frank.
I didn't even ask you to speak yet. No, I'm just kidding. That was Anne Frank. Thank you, Dad. That was Anne Frank. Next quote. Next quote is, it's Niall Horan's B-Day today, writing Nialler on my wrist. Niall Horan is a member of One Direction, by the way. British pop band. Who do you think that was? Guys, come on. Yeah, it was me. Gosh, I thought it was going to be a little harder than that. Okay, the final quote here is, and that was Helen Keller. Anybody else get them mixed up as a child? That's that Catholic grade school education. You learn about two women. And I can't tell one from the other. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, who am I? You never know. I did go to Catholic grade school. My favorite comedian of all time, as a matter of fact, is my grade school priest. Father Brito, fucking clown. Such a clown. During the homily, which is the part of the mass where the priest can just do bits, you know? He would always make marital jokes, husband and wife, nuclear family stuff, as if he has any knowledge on the subject. I don't know, I think he had a ghostwriter. The Holy Ghostwriter. Come on. Come on. Gotta give that one to me. Yeah, you make all these like husband and wife jokes, and then you end it with bitches, am I right? Told you, clown. Clown. We had some pretty strict uniforms in Catholic grade school. You know, the girls had to wear collared shirts, plaid skirts, and knee-high socks, and the boys had to be circumcised. They checked every Tuesday. The first time I did that joke, I mixed up the word circumcised with castrated. But that's unrealistic, you know? Because if all the boys were castrated, they wouldn't be let into Catholic grade school. What are you going to do with them? I'm anti-circumcision. You want to get to know me a little bit. Built-in condom, you know? Is that not true? Was I lied to? No, I'm not. I mean, I just feel like a circumcised man would want to circumcise his son. Men in the room, what do we... Raise your hand if you're circumcised.
I'm not doing that.
Okay, Professor Oninger, you're off the hook. But you did just reveal that you are circumcised. So, anyways. Bartender, you raise your hand. You have a son?
I have a daughter.
You have a daughter. Okay, well, that's irrelevant. What?
If I had a son, I wouldn't circumcise him.
You would not circumcise him. Okay, right. What's your reasoning?
I hear I'm missing out on a lot.
Oh, like what?
I'm not even going to say.
Yeah, finish your food.
Sensation, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right, word. Yeah, cool. Right, guys? You guys are missing out. Every Tuesday, man. Gosh, no, I never got my ears pierced like as a young girl, and I think it's like the same thing, you know. Like if my son wants to be circumcised, he can do it when he turns 18 at Claire's. They skipped a couple chapters in Catholic grade school, so I had to get my sexual education elsewhere. And so, like, you know, some young boys go to porn, or girls my age would go to those American Girl doll books, you know? But I didn't have the library card at the time, so I went to fan fiction. Steamy fan fiction from this app called Wattpad. Anybody familiar? Ladies? Okay, nobody wants to admit it, just like the men don't want to admit that they're uncut. Okay. So I had this app called Wattpad, and I was reading about, you know, me and Harry Styles. Just get out there. And I told you I was a fan of One Direction. Come on. Big fan. And so these books were kind of crazy, okay? And so one of the chapters ended with, and he released his warmth into her. I'm like, this is a literal quote, yeah. And that's when I found out that they pee in us.
Lovely, everybody.